In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Boban Marjanović, one of my favorite centers right now, and why he is totally unstoppable in the international game. Let's get down, let's check him out. Well, first off, he is a very massive player. No matter which team he goes up against, he's going to be able to score a ton of points. But the international game is a much more violent and contact sport than it is in the NBA. Here he's going up against Kai Sotto, a very, very good young basketball player, and he's able to use his size and strength to keep Kai Sotto from scoring this basket. He's able to do that because he's a much bigger player. He is able to force Kai Sotto baseline, and when you're able to do that as a bigger defender, you're now cutting off his ability to go towards the middle of the court to collapse the defense so that he can kick out. By being a bigger player, you can force him baseline, and if you can keep him underneath the basket or behind the backboard, you're going to make his life extremely hard trying to score, and that's basically what happened here. You can also get away with a lot more in the low post in the international game too. Here he's really using his elbows to be able to get that basket on three players. Now, obviously, he has size. That is an obvious factor. But when he gets this ball, as soon as he gets it, he looks over his shoulder. He notices he has three defenders who are going to collapse in on him. He needs to score without dribbling. And what he does here is he keeps his elbows up, and he's able to lock in. When he gets this ball, he's able to lock in his left elbow on top of Kai Sotto's shoulder. When he does this, he's able to basically 100% allow himself to get that basket because there's nothing at that point Kai Sotto can do, and in fact gets called for a foul. And I really like how this angle can really see how he was able to lock in that arm of Kai Sotto so that Kai Sotto was unable to block that shot. And because FIBA matches really are more aggressive, they can focus on the low post a lot more than you can generally at the NBA level. So when he gets this ball, of course, he can play the big man. Nobody's going to be able to get that. But as soon as he loses that double team defender, he's able to take two dribbles towards the basket, and then he's able to get his elbows up. This is important. If you ever play in Canada, if you're an American, we run by the FIBA rules as well, and this is a very deadly area of the court if you know how to use it properly. And here he's able to get his elbow up. He's able to then use his off arm to shade against the defender trying to block his shot, and if you're good at hitting those hook shots, you can really do damage at the international level. Even though this is international basketball, there really isn't anybody who can really out-rebound Boban. This was actually a massive game for Boban. He was the reason why the Serbs actually beat the Philippines. This is actually something that I tell a lot of the players that I coach right now. If you're playing defense, you need to keep your hands up. Look at Boban right here. Here we have Boban coming off as a hedging defender, and he keeps his hands up. This is so important because here, that player looked like he might have been trying to either shoot or pass or do something, and because Boban's arms were in passing lanes, that player was able to do nothing. Now we're going to zoom into this one as well, because when he gets this ball here, this defender's arm is down, essentially. It's not straight up, which means that you need to move that out of the way. How you do that is by getting your upper arm into the armpit of that defender. That will remove that arm from your location and technically could be classified as a foul if, of course, the referee calls it. You can use your off arm to do this, or you can even use your shooting arm to do this as well. This basically will make sure that you get that arm out of the way. If you were to bring your arm up to the forearm of that defender, he's going to be able to most likely strip that ball. But if you can get your upper arm, shoulder, or elbow into the armpit of that defender who has his arm over top of you, you're going to be able to clear out that space and maybe even hurt him too. When you're in the low post, especially if you're getting double teamed or playing against a zone, keep that ball high. Obviously, nobody's going to be able to strip it from a 7'6" center, but look for your teammates cutting from the weak side. And I was explaining this to the teams that I coach this year as well, where if you get that ball into the low post, really look at the defense, because what's going to happen, and this happens a ton of times, is they're not going to be looking at the players out on the perimeter. They're going to be looking at you. And if that's the case, they open up a ton of lanes for you to cut down. This is even technically, in my opinion, a lane here where this player could cut here, this player could cut here, this player could cut out towards this corner, and give Boban 3 different options. Well, we seen this player clear out, this player did nothing, but a massive gap opened for this player to cut down, and because of that, Boban was able to get him the dunk, or close to a dunk. Also, coming off of a screen, this is a nice shade screen right here for Boban's man, but this basically isolates a 2-on-1 situation for him, and when he gets that ball, he's able to keep it up high, and well, nobody's going to really be able to stop that, right? I really can't emphasize this enough. Use your elbows. Use your elbows to lock out players. The referees barely call it. In the FIBA game, it's not a foul either. We can see this over and over again. In the States, they may call that a foul, but it all depends on where you're playing, and for all the players right now in Canada who are watching my videos, this is 100% allowed in the FIBA game, and we all run by the FIBA rules up here. You can even do it with the ball side arm as well. We can see that here. It's just an absolutely amazing closeout, and he's able to throw up that push shot. It's just, he's such an amazing player overall. There's no denying it. Boban is a 7'6" center, and that position has kind of died off in the NBA. Obviously, centers like Karl Anthony Towns, Jokic, they're all doing extremely well, and I think that Boban, if given the chance to run as a main guy on a team, could really do damage in the NBA. However, the NBA has moved over to a speedier game, and because of that, it doesn't really suit Boban's game 100% as much as the FIBA game, where Boban can go and explode for 30 points and absolutely demolish pretty much any team. He could even go up against Team USA and still do extremely well. So that is why I personally believe that there's still a use for a real center in today's game if your nation wants to win at the international level. It's not all about who will work best in the NBA. The NBA is, of course, the largest team in the entire, or the largest league in the entire world. However, at the same time, the FIBA game really does give your nation credibility when it comes to basketball, and having a real center like Boban can really help you out. We've seen that this past summer with Team Canada, where they got destroyed because they didn't have a real center, but we do have a few young guys who are coming up. One playing for Purdue right now, Zach Edey, and he's going to be eating pretty good, playing for Team Canada hopefully very soon. I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.